Hi everyone, my name is Kate and you're very welcome here on my channel where I talk about fragrances and I invite you to join me and speak about Akro today. This is the brand created by perfumer Olivier Cresp and his daughter. Each fragrance is dedicated to one of human addictions or obsessions and I'm actually very excited to talk about it. So pour yourself some coffee, tea, or maybe even wine if you're in the mood, and let's dive in. I tried each fragrance on my skin. I tried it on the blotter. So I become pretty familiar with each of them and I rated them. So I'm going to tell you about the fragrances starting from my number 6 to my top number 1 that I like the most. Please, if one of your favorites is not highly rated by me, don't take it personally and that's fine. Our tastes differ. The main goal of this conversation is just to talk about each of them and tell you about how do I spell them. Maybe help you choose or just learn a little bit more about this brand. Okay, let's begin. My number 6, it's Malt. I actually have it right here. I was getting ready for this video and smelling them once again on the blotters. Malt, as you can understand, represents whiskey. This fragrance, I see the main 3 parts in it. It's malt. It's actually recreated through rum. At least on the website, they list rum note, and smoke and leather. In the very beginning of this fragrance, when I smell the top notes, I remember Rhinoceros by Zoologist. It's actually, I really don't like that one. For some reason, I have very strong reaction to that one. So maybe that's why I rate this lower, because I had not as fun experience with Rhinoceros, but whatever, it's a different fragrance. But I kind of don't really like this combo. It's not for me. So I guess the picture here is you sitting in a big leather chair, smoke a cigar and drink some whiskey, which is not my kind of scene, even though I can admire it. I like this fragrance much more in the base because base is very calm and quiet, but also at the same time, it kind of loses the special feel about it. And this is what I can say about most of the fragrances, at least these 6. I believe there is 8 fragrances in total made by the brand. Correct me if I'm wrong. But mold, I don't find that interesting because I feel like it's underdone, like there was something was not said here or there's a part missing in it because to my nose after maybe half an hour, it just becomes smoky patchouli. And I don't really want to wear it. I don't know, but at the same time, the philosophy of the brand is something that relaxes you. Maybe you have the strong punch in the beginning as like the top notes are very strong and then it goes quiet. Maybe that's the point. But I would like to feel more, I would like to get more out of fragrance. So yes, this is my number 6. My number 5 is Haze. I know there are a lot of fans of Haze and I like it too. And I have the same problem here as with Malt because I like this fragrance and I love the top notes. It's very, very strong. Yes, it's eucalyptus. And oh my God, eucalyptus is not so easy to find, especially good one in fragrances. Here it's beautiful. It's also supported by absinthe, maybe a little bit of iris because it feels a little bit powdery, and maybe peppery too. But eucalyptus comes out very strong and then it transforms into the smell of cannabis, at least to my nose. I'm not a professional here, so like I don't know so much. I didn't try so many things here, but maybe you like if you have suggestions, tell me. But I think it becomes this green cannabis. Okay, I really like this scent, and I like how it transforms. But I just don't love the smell of cannabis, to be honest. Like it's not one of my favorites. It's not something I would like to smell for a long time. So that's why this is my number 5. Even though this eucalyptus and absinthe in the beginning, beautiful. I really, really like it. And I would love to smell it from somebody else, but not from my skin. Next one, it's getting more and more interesting. Smoke. I didn't like it when I smelled it first from using the paper, but I tried it on my skin and then I started to like it. On my skin at first, it's a lot of smoke, but not cigarette smoke. As I understand, smoke is about cigarettes. I don't, I smell not cigarettes, but I smell the fire smoke. I guess it's about a cigar. At first you light it up and there is a smell of, it's the fire smell, like the fireplace smell, the real smoky one, not like a smoked cigarette or a cigar, and slowly becomes a tobacco scent, but very classic tobacco, kind of tobacco that you find in tobacco vanille or something like that, or one of the tobacco vanille family fragrances. Maybe I expected a little bit more of a cigar scent because it smells mostly like just a tobacco leaf and a very sweet tobacco leaf. I kind of feel like there's a block from tobacco vanille or tobacco vanille family fragrances. That's why I compare it to it. But it reminds me too much of it, which I like. And this is the note that I really like in fragrances and I enjoy wearing, but I feel like I smelled it many times before. Like it's not unique or special. Yeah. Actually now at this stage from this blotter, I smell like a cigar, like I'm holding a cigar in my hands, which is pretty pleasant. But then it will get this little squeaky tobacco scent, the one that just follows you everywhere. If you're a big fan of tobacco fragrances, try it. But I don't think it's gonna be something new. I don't think it's gonna be something unique. But if you want a classic tobacco fragrance, maybe this is for you. Next is, one of my favorites. One of my favorite this is one of my favorite human addictions. It's dark, which represents chocolate. Dark chocolate. I have a small problem with this one too. I'm sorry. Like, I like this brand. I think it's very interesting concept. I just think that somewhere they a little bit didn't deliver, and I wish that it was a little bit more interesting. I feel like, there was not enough thought put in these fragrances. I don't want to insult the perfumer or the creative directors or anyone, but I wish it was a little bit higher. I wish they were a little bit more bold doing these fragrances. Even though it seems like they're bold, but something is left unsaid here. That's just my opinion. You can think different, and I welcome you to share your opinions, by the way. So this is patchouli. Very nice, sweet, chocolatey patchouli. The kind of patchouli you can see in the Angel or Paris Monte Carlo, my favorite patchouli, Nosy B. Wonderful. These are very nice to wear in the fall or winter when you want to cozy up, to warm up. And yeah, it's like the chocolate that has bubbles in it, not like flat chocolate, but like the one I remember in my childhood, there were like bubbly chocolate bars. And this is something like that. Like it has air in it. Yeah, definitely get cacao in it. It's very nice, very pleasant. A little bit of milkiness. It's not like, I don't feel like it's fully dark. I feel like there are nuts and some milk in it, which is very nice and soothing. Yeah, with time it transforms into the smell of very nice chocolatey patchouli. That's all I can say about it. It's very nice, very easy to wear. I didn't hear the angels sing when I smelled it. Still very pleasant to wear, especially in the fall. And number 2, here there was a fight. There was actually a fight, and I even feel like I still didn't decide which one is my favorite, but I'll just go with how I put them, with the order that I decided before. But I'm actually more excited about number 2. I'm more excited to tell you about number 2 than number 1, because number 1 you probably heard about, and number 2, which is the night, not so many people talk about, and I understand why. So here is where I think that they went more or less bold. And I feel like this is one of the most finished fragrances. This represents what happens between two lovers. And some people say that, oh, it smells sweaty and like gross and disgusting, which I don't think. There is a note of cumin together with the rose. I think maybe patchouli too. Saffron, for sure I smell saffron. I think this trio is the main. It's the rose, cumin, and saffron. And cumin adds this note this feel of the skin, maybe a little bit sweaty skin, but not like gross sweaty, like when just a not clean person. No, it's maybe you went for like maybe you took a shower and used some cream, but then for some reason you had to run for a couple of minutes for something. Maybe you forgot about something, you had to like hurry up somewhere, and you got a little bit sweaty, just a little bit, and it mixed with your body lotion, so it's not a gross smell. And the rose, it's I would say it's not the smell of a rose. It's not like you smell a flower. It's the feel of the rose. It's this powdery feel when it's almost rose, but it's not. And you kind of see the rose, but it keeps disappearing. And I think it's beautiful. I think this touch is just genius. Among these 6 fragrances, this is the most interesting one to me. I really feel I see what they try to show. I see this picture. I see these bodies together. I feel this passion, and I think it's created great. I really like this fragrance. I don't see anything unpleasant. Yes, it's animalic. It feels animalic, but I think it's because of cumin. So try it. I'm so curious what other people try. Please let me know what you think, because I think this is a really job well done. And this fragrances we discussed before, I find not as interesting as this one. And the last one. So this might be cheesy, and I think that this is actually the best seller of the brand, and I understand why, because there's some kids yelling there. I live not too far from a school, so sometimes this happens. Okay, so my number 1 is Awake. I know it can be predictable. Yes, don't tell me that it's predictable, but in my defense, I think so far this is the most pleasing and fun coffee fragrance that I found. I have a whole coffee video. I'll put the link down there. It doesn't have this one because at the moment when I made that video, I was not aware. I mean, I was aware, I just didn't try this fragrance. But watch it anyway if you want to know more about coffee fragrances, because there are also some really, really nice scents. So this is very hazelnut, milky coffee. I would say this is a latte, not even a cappuccino. This latte with milk and hazelnut syrup. Very good syrup though. Very hazelnutty, very realistic, because this hazelnut reminds me of Chipmunk by Zoologist. Yeah, it's very nice, very comforting. I can see wearing this in late fall or winter. Especially hazelnut comes out, even more than a coffee, to be honest. I would say it's maybe it's even coffee with some pieces of hazelnut in it for some reason. Nice though. Really like it. Really fun to wear. And I think I'm gonna get bottles of the Night and and Awake, because I think these are great. I also would like to try Bake. I think it's the latest one that came out in the stores. And I tried Ink. I don't have a lot to say about Ink. It's representing tattoos, so people who cannot stop doing tattoos. But I didn't wear ink enough, so I didn't include it into this review. Thank you so much. Tell me what you think, and don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and see what else is here, because I have much more videos to watch. Bye bye.